The mass shooting in Uvalde, Texas could have been prevented. And I blame the parents of Salvador Ramos. They are the ones that could have stopped it. They knew that this child had mental issues. They saw it, but they refused to admit it, and they refused to have it addressed. Now his mother and father have finally come forward, and his mother crying and sobbing, hollering about, "Forgive me, forgive my son." Okay, now why would she say forgive her? Now I can understand forgive the son, he's a monster, did these monstrous things, but why would she say forgive her if there wasn't some type of guilt going on inside of her? Because I blame her. She has most of the blame. The dad too, but she bears most of the blame. Now this is what his mother had to say. "I have no words to say. I don't know what he was thinking," Martinez told the Spanish language station Televisa. "He had his reasons for doing what he did. Please don't judge him. I only want the innocent child who died to forgive me," she said. "Forgive me. Forgive my son. I know he had his reasons." When she was asked what reasons he could have had, she said, "To get closer to those children instead of paying attention to the other bad things. I have no words. I don't know." But I think she does know. I mean, what did he express to her about what was going on at school for her to say he had his reasons for going to school, shooting up children and a few teachers? This lady is the problem with this young man. I mean, it was already known that they were not in the best of relations. Now, old dad has come out of the woodworks, and he's pretty much sounding just like his, I guess, ex-wife. And I don't think that he had a good relationship with his son. This boy acts like he has a lot of problems that both parents knew about. But this is what old dad had to say. He said his son frequently complained about his maternal grandmother, who was in the hospital recovering from her injuries this week. He said he offered to let his son move in with his own parents, but that the teenager declined, citing the lack of Wi-Fi. The teenager's final dispute with his maternal grandmother before he shot her was reportedly about his phone bill. See, when he shot Grandma, I knew that Grandma was not going for his mess like his mother, his father, and his granddad. They let him have his way. But Grandma was about business. And I'm going to prove to you that it's the parents' fault. It's all on the parents. This article says that the younger Ramos reportedly had a poor relationship with his mother and had dropped out of high school ahead of his graduation this year. His father admitted he had not spent much time with him lately because he was employed outside of Uvalde. He said his son grew frustrated with the COVID precautions about a month ago and refused to speak to him. Ramos has not seen him since. There you go. Blame everything on COVID. Ramos also faulted the boy's mother, Adriana Reyes, for not buying him more school supplies and clothes. He said his son was bullied at school for wearing the same high school water jeans every day, and that this was the reason he ultimately dropped out. All right, the money that he used to buy those AK-47 rounds of bullets in his tactical gear, why didn't he use that to buy some clothes? I mean, I blame the parents. It goes on to say, despite the horrific slaughter he carried out Tuesday, Ramos insisted that his son was a good person who stuck to himself. He claimed to have no idea why his son became so violent or why he chose to target the school. You claim that you have no idea. Your wife claimed that she has no idea. But everyone at school had an idea. The people he worked with had an idea. But the people he stayed with and the people that birthed him had no idea. It goes on to say, but he said he did notice one change in his son in recent months. A pair of boxing gloves he purchased and went and tested out on a local park. I said, Mio, one day somebody's going to kick your ass. Ramos recalled. I started seeing different things in him like that. I mean, you saw something, you half-ass said something, but you really didn't try to investigate to see, okay, man, why you buying these gloves? Who are you having problems with? What's the deal, son? Talk to me. What you tell him? Somebody's going to kick your ass. He got put all the way in the dirt. You know, I was wondering, where did he get the money to purchase, you know, the guns and ammo, all this type of stuff. We had this little job at Wendy's where he did a poor job, was mean and rude, was about to get fired before he quit. And I say I blame these parents because, okay, the boy saved up $4,000 from his job, complained didn't have no clothes. I mean, Grandma tried to get on him about the phone bill. Because I was saying that this boy ain't paying no bills. He's sitting up in the house hoarding money. Save up $4,000. No one asked any questions. Okay, man, what are you doing with your money? What are you saving up to buy? I blame these parents because the average person, a parent, is not going to let their child lay up in the house at that age for nothing. Especially with the behavior he has, a high school dropout. I mean, if you're not going to school, you got to go to work and you got to pay bills. You know, I blame the parents because regardless if he had a job or not, he's still 18, living up under his parents, grandparents, or somebody's roof other than his own. And you are responsible for the people that live up under your roof. And I blame the parents. They says that Salvador Ramos, 18, worked at Wendy's to save money to purchase the assault weapons he used to shoot up the Texas elementary school on Tuesday. One of his former colleagues alleged he would brag about his plans to buy guns while at work, describing him as demented and having mental problems. He's 17 or 18. No one reported him. No one took him serious. She claims he suddenly quit 2 weeks ago after he got enough money to buy 2 guns, ammunition, and a tactical style vest. Another employee alleged he would send inappropriate messages to female colleagues, while his manager claimed he often kept to himself. Officials believed he spent $4,000 to buy the items used in the massacre. Ramos on Tuesday opened fire on a 4th grade class at Robb Elementary School, killing at least 19 children and 2 teachers. You know, and they just said that why did he go to, any school, but to the 4th grade class? I mean, these children not even in your class. Why would you even do that? You know, a lot of people are saying that this guy is trans or whatever, but I'm leaning to believe that he's not too fond of women, females. You know, the way he harassed the women at work, the way he shot his grandmother in the face, the relationship he has with his mother. I just think it's impossible for the parents to not know that this child that they didn't raise was capable of committing mass murder. I mean, he was mad about the Wi-Fi. He was mad about the phone bill. I mean, when those bills are coming to someone else's house, they knew something about what this guy, maybe the sites he was going on, and they cut his Wi-Fi off. No one's talking about that. And these phone bills, where was he making calls to? And he just gonna get so mad and upset that he shot his grandmother. This is one of these conversations he was having right before he shot his grandmother. He tried to kill her, shot her in the face, and ain't no telling what type of recovery time is going to come with that. But he says that she's on the phone with AT&T about my phone. I mean, if you working, why don't you buy your own phone? And maybe grandma had reasons to be concerned about it. But he says, it's annoying. Then somebody posted, what? He says, I just shot grandma in the head. I blame him for what happened, and I blame his parents for what happened. And I know it's rough on a child going from pillar to post. Can't stay with your dad, can't stay with your mom, can't stay with grandparents, but you want to stay with both your parents. But for whatever reasons, mom and dad aren't together. And that is a lot of stress on a child, but still, you know, everyone has this road to travel on this earth. And you just have to learn how to cope. And you have to learn how to play with the hands that you are dealt in life. Everyone doesn't have a silver spoon. Some of us have it hard. I had it hard, still is having it hard. But in spite of the hard times, I understand that, hey, put yourself in the right position, do the right things. Tomorrow can be quite different. So these parents, one blaming on the other, blaming on the bullies, blaming it on the system, instead of blaming it on the one that they look in that mirror at every day, which is themselves. They are to blame for what their child had become. They are to blame for the death of their child and of the death of those other children in their school and the teachers and the lives that they've destroyed. Because you saw this behavior in your child, but because, you know, you have other things to do that are more important than your child, like the job, social life, that you put your child on the back burner. And your child felt that. And your child acted out in the best way that he knew how, which was a bad way. That's the only way he knew how. Sometimes when children scream and holler and act bad, that's for attention. Because that's the only time that they get it, when they start screaming and hollering, oh, what you want? What you want? When I'm trying to talk or be normal, you ignore me. So I blame these parents, more especially the mother, because she was the one that was really in control of her child. And you dropped the ball. Now you want to sit up looking all sad, want everybody to come rub your hand and pat you on the back and tell you it's going to be all right. But tell that to the people of the lives that your son destroyed. And this should be a lesson to other people that are ignoring their children. Get involved in your children's lives. If not, you may be sitting on the porch looking like this.